Magenta quintuplets, I'm telling you.
Welcome to the Vicis Interimo 30 Minutes to Kill podcast.
You are listening to the Vicis Interimo show, 30 Minutes to Kill. More or less. The incredible podcast with the unpronounceable name.
And we're recording. You probably shouldn't have your mouth full. Why would you take a bite as soon as I turn the recorder on? Okay.
I don't have to talk right away, do I?
That was maybe not well thought out. Well, you know, if you're going to put something in your mouth, I'm going to make you start talking.
Great.
Yeah.
You know, I saw that lemon cookie and I just could not help myself.
I see. All right. Well, I guess that's understandable this time. Let's get right into it. You are listening to the Vicis Interimo show, 30 Minutes to Kill.
More or less.
That's right.
I'm helping.
Thanks. Do you want to read this or do...
No, keep going.
Just keep going? All right. You'll just jump in at any point?
Sure.
We are a horror movie review podcast featuring horror, suspense, and psychological thrillers. I thought you would take over there and tell them where you could find us.
I was about to say, why is that refrigerator so stinking loud?
I don't know.
All I can hear is that refrigerator. I'm ready to push it out the front door. Which would be a problem because it would go down the stairs.
And we'd be trapped up here on the second floor. You can find us on Stitchers, iTunes, Podomatic, just about anywhere. Just type in VICISINTERIMO. I am your host, Michael Mad Saxon Jones, here with my lovely wife, Lori.
And you forgot some stuff. Our show generally has how many segments?
4 segments.
I forgot.
Oh, no.
We have... I almost hit 3.
A decade of doing this. And you forgot.
No. I was going to say 3, but I wasn't thinking of the review.
Oh, okay.
So we do 4 segments. We have our Laid to Rest segment where we tie up any loose ends from our last show. We do a short movie review. And then we do Garbage in, Garbage out where we talk about different TV shows, movies, books we might have read, whatever. And we wrap it all up, usually, with a crawling chaos, a topic or factoid we've never talked about before ever on the show.
Okay.
Something totally fresh and new.
Sweet.
Yes.
All right. Well, with that in mind, we're going to listen for the gunshot and
jump into Laid to Rest.
Jump into Laid to Rest.
That was a big pregnant pause.
It doesn't have to be. I have the power of editing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So for Laid to Rest, I'm actually going to go back to our short topic from a little while ago, which was the...
Okay.
Well, it became a lot. It was Forgotten TV shows is what it was intended to be. Then it became 90s supernatural, whatever.
What, pray tell, is a short topic?
Short topic is just little 5 or 10 or 15 minutes, and if somebody goes on a rant, it might be 20 minutes. But anyhow, they're usually short topics that we haven't talked about before or don't fit into a movie review. It's just us.
Some weird little podcast released in between.
In between there, exactly. And this one was somewhat inspired by one of our patrons, at Lonely Bob. We've got a few patrons, at Lonely Bob, Big LV, and Goldafish. But something
yes, we do.
Lonely Bob had said it sparked... well, anyhow. My point was...
So you'd like to go back and wrap something up?
I'm just going to say that there was a couple of other shows that I think got forgotten, overlooked. I mean...
Oh, yeah, because you were starting to say that when I butt in. What was the short topic?
The short topic was 90s TV shows or forgotten TV shows.
Specifically of the 90s.
Yes, that was kind of it and stuff. So, I mean, I
had a little trouble with that when you asked me.
Well, you usually do when I spring those things on you.
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure if there was some late 80s, early 90s things, and I wasn't sure where they fit in or if they counted. Or...
Yeah, I could have gone for the obvious stuff like Manimal or maybe Automan. But I was thinking about actual shows that were canceled too soon.
Yeah.
And a couple of them, and this maybe, this doesn't necessarily fit 90s. But first of all,
Firefly.
Lost Room.
Lost Room.
Do you remember?
Yes.
That was another friend of the show.
That was after 2000, though.
Yeah, that was Brian gave that to us. That was a sci-fi original or miniseries or just short series. It only went for one season, but small objects with supernatural powers, or quantum physics is what it turns out to be. Kind of.
Yeah, that was really interesting.
That was an awesome show that I think could have gone on.
Yeah.
Maybe one season.
Again, it was too soon. The general public
is
finally ready for this kind of thing. Back then, I don't think anyone was into it.
Another show from Stephen King, actually, that was canceled too soon, I thought. Not the hospital, not Kingdom Hospital or whatever, but rather Golden Years.
Golden Years.
Golden Years. That was where I first heard about or read about The Shop in Stephen King's work. I started to pick them up later on. Anyhow, Golden Years, TV show. The guy gets caught in a quantum accident and gets sent back in time. Finds himself younger and younger. And, of course, the government wants to hunt him down and so on. That was a show I think could have gone... Yeah. Okay, well, anyhow, so that was what I had to say. For the last show...
Yeah, what did we talk about last
We talked
time?
about Mom and Dad.
Oh, Mom and
or
Dad.
we laughed about, or we just, I don't know, we talked around Mom and Dad, but my gosh, what a great...
I've already recommended it to a few people.
So have I.
Yes.
If you do follow the show, if you go to the show notes, if you go to Podomatic, I included a link to the top 10 Nicolas Cage freakouts in movies. There's a whole top 10 on that.
Okay.
You could also find Once Upon a Time Season 6, which we talked about. The Walking Dead trailer for Season 9, which is now over. We talked about that Magic the Gathering game that I play and stuff.
Right.
I'm excited. I'm higher than I've ever been in there. I'm almost to my mythic level. That's my goal.
The Magic the Gathering online.
Yeah, Magic the Gathering Arena.
Right.
I'm reaching platinum and I'm just about to go diamond.
Look at you.
Look at me. Yeah, I've been grinding it out. Anyhow, let's just get on to something that maybe somebody tuned in to hear about, which is Us.
Okay.
All right. They don't want to hear about Us. They want to hear about Us, the movie.
That's a classic right there.
What does I Got 5 on it mean? It's about drugs.
It's not about drugs. It's a dope song. Don't do drugs.
Get in rhythm. There you go. There you go. Can't believe how big they've got.
You hear Gabe got a boat?
He's kidding, right?
He's not kidding.
Hey, I think it's vodka o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Where's Jason?
Jason?
Where were you? I didn't know if you were lost. Stick with me, and I'll keep you safe.
There's a family in our driveway.
It's probably the neighbors. But y'all scared of a family? Hi, can I help you?
Zora, put your shoes on.
If you want to get crazy, we can get crazy.
You people.
It's us. They look exactly like us. They think like us. They know where we are. We need to move and keep moving. They won't stop until they kill us. Or we kill them. Be careful.
Oh, we should mention then that this Us is an on-the-road episode.
Yes, it is.
Actually recorded a couple weeks ago when the movie first came out.
Right.
We put this on hold because, of course, we had other movies to get through.
Yes.
And, the next one we're going to be talking about is Avatar. No, Abattoir. I knew I was going to screw that up. I freaking knew it. Anyhow, Us is what we're supposed to be talking about.
We're not talking about
Avatar. We were talking about Abattoir, but that's the next time. Let's talk about Us.
Yeah, why are we talking about Abattoir anyway now?
I don't know.
And at the end of this episode, we're going to do a spoiler segment.
We are.
Because as you listen to us discussing the movie in the car on the way home, after we had just seen it, we couldn't talk about a lot of stuff. There's a lot to talk about with this movie. So we don't give any spoilers in the car and are doing our movie review. Mm-hmm. We just talk about all the boring stuff. Okay. But that's what we do.
All right.
We don't do spoilers because we like people to go out and discover things on their own.
Right.
You know, we don't like spoiling surprises. But so anyway, at the very end of this episode, you'll have the opportunity to either shut off the show or keep on listening.
All right.
So we'll announce that at the end.
And I promise no stingers after that, so there's no reason to come back. That will be the end of the show. You'll get a spoiler alert.
Because we have such awesome stingers, you have to wait around for it.
There's only.
Give me a break.
Sometimes it's fun to hear you rant. Anyhow.
Us. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hold this, please.
Oh, dear.
Well, you knew it was coming.
I thought it might be.
I almost want to say it's a special request from your sister, but that's not entirely true. We planned on seeing Us anyhow, but
yes.
She may have bumped it up a little bit earlier by talking to you a little bit about it.
Yeah.
A lot to unpack there.
Yeah, I'm thinking I don't really want to... Well, we don't do spoilers, so we don't get heavily into the story anyway.
Right.
But that's good, because I was going to say I am not ready to discuss what was really going on here. I mean, I am with you.
Okay, but what's really going on? There is so much I want to say shrouded in metaphor.
Yes.
That I think we could talk a little bit about it and stuff. I know I saw a few people coming out of the theater pissed.
Really?
Yeah, I was getting our hot dogs because we did a double feature today. The first movie being the final part of How to Train Your Dragon.
Yes.
The final part so far.
That was so good.
Yes, but when I was picking up our hot dogs as we
the group before us was coming out,
just leaving the theater and stuff.
Okay.
A lot of people not happy. Yeah, they and I think I can understand why if you weren't.
It's a thinker.
It is, and I think I want to say there is. I'm just going to call it a false ending that is there. I'm not using the right words here, but let me spit it out here and we'll...
Okay.
Okay. So I want to say there's a false ending to the movie that is there for people that need a climax.
Okay.
And I think the movie works on a few different layers, and there's just what you see on the screen and what's happening. But then, like I said, much of it's a metaphor for something else. So I think that's there for people that would feel incomplete if they weren't ready to dig deeper for the metaphorical meaning of the thing.
Okay.
Does that make sense? It makes sense to you, maybe,
yes.
But okay. So if you just watch this on the surface and you don't care to think any more about it, you might not enjoy it. Or it might seem out of left field, or it might seem incomplete or weird. I don't know.
Okay.
Does that... what do you...
Well, someone we know who saw it said it was just straight up just kind of stupid and they didn't enjoy it.
Okay.
So I could see how it would go that direction for a lot of people.
The people walking out, like I said, a large majority of the younger audience that saw it, that not with us, but with, initially watched, they thought that same thing.
It was young people that said that?
Youngish. I mean, I don't know. Everybody's younger than us at this point, so not everybody. Though
we're not old as dirt yet. Okay, well...
I was reassured to see that the people in How to Train Your Dragon were older than us.
Yes.
Anyhow.
Oh, that's good for all ages.
Yeah, okay. So, back to us.
Let's... Because we could dwell on that, we would have to start talking about the story.
Right.
And since we don't do that...
Right.
The story on the surface, so we have our family, and something traumatizing happened to this lady when she was a young girl.
Yeah.
So now she's older, has a family of her own, and she finds herself back at the beach where this traumatizing thing happened.
Yeah.
So she's kind of haired out and worried and really uncomfortable and feeling this ominous doom pressing down on her.
Right.
So enter the other family.
And it's pretty clear from the previews, if anybody's seen the previews to begin with, that there is a series of doppelganger, or what are the right terms? Because I would have, in the past, said they were... I don't want to say that.
Yeah.
We'll just say doppelganger for now.
Whoops. Sorry, I'm trying to fix the... We're in the car, of course.
Of course, this is on the road.
I'm trying to fix the air here. I'm confused. The sun's going down. It's cold, but it's warm in the car. I don't know.
Can't process all these things?
Yes. Normally I'd get in the car and just start cranking the air, but it's just not right for that. So, yes. Okay. Did you enjoy the movie?
I did.
Let's go back to the very
Jordan Peele,
basic...
This is the same guy that brought us Get Out, and while I liked Get Out, I was not prepared to hail it as a masterpiece that a lot of people thought it was.
Right.
And that's just my preference.
Okay.
That's because...
So did you like this one better?
I did like this one better.
Okay.
Yes. Just leave it at that for now.
Sorry, I derailed. I don't want to get stuck on talking about Get Out again, because we talked about that thing until we were blue in the face.
Well, we still talked about it in the meantime, too, but... Yeah,
we both enjoyed Get Out a lot.
Right, it was great, but
this one though had so much more stuff going on, and so much what the bloody heck is happening here. I enjoyed the heck out of this movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Good. And I don't think you have to have seen one to see the other. I don't think that... I like the fact that I don't have to compare these two. You don't have to see Get Out.
Why would you have to see that?
I'm just saying because it's, you know what I mean? Like, Jordan Peele's a big name these days and stuff.
Who cares?
I think he's doing Twilight Zone and so on. But
they're standalone movies, though.
I'm just saying that a lot of times when you go to if that was his freshman, and this is his sophomore directorial debut or whatever. No, it's not.
I think they were both fine movies, and they both did what they were set out to do.
Okay.
I just happened to enjoy this one more because there was a lot more going on.
Okay.
It was a lot more exciting.
Okay. And everything top notch.
Yes.
And by everything I mean it was
the acting. Yes.
The special effects.
Yeah.
the soundtrack.
Yep. And I think it was well written. For the people who thought it was stupid, or for the people who didn't understand what was going on, it was a little complicated, but I think it was well written.
Yeah. And I don't think you're supposed to get everything the first time.
We should just have total spoiler episode and just talk about it, but we're not going to do that right now.
No, we won't do that now.
We only just walked out of the theater.
Right.
But we find out there's a couple of things at the end. There's a couple reveals, and I really enjoyed both of them. One of them was just a straight up twist. But while, you're watching this thing and you're thinking, okay, what is going on here? Everybody has a double. Everyone has this shadow of themselves. Why are these things running around in red jumpers trying to kill us now? So I was thinking, is this, that's terrible. Is this, some weird, supernatural occurring weird thing? I mean, obviously, because this can't be possible, but as the story unfolds and it's revealed how this is happening, I was like, what?
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that.
Okay.
I loved the idea. I don't want to totally talk. I mean,
even as you're telling me this,
yes,
I'm thinking back to the movie and unpacking more things in my head as you spoke.
Yeah.
Like this is one that I definitely we will have to see again. If not owned, we will certainly have to at least get it from Netflix or whatever when it's available.
It's definitely worth a rewatch. Because I'm sure now that we know, I mean, it's always that way with movies that have endings that reveal and twist and turn. Once you know everything and you get to the end and you're like, oh, that's what was going on. Yeah, then you go back and you rewatch and everything kind of falls into place.
Falls into place a little bit better.
Yeah. Look out for that car.
Okay.
It's okay, Darren. We're not going to die in the car. He said he always feels like when we're in the car doing this that we're going to get in an accident while we're doing the podcast.
Nope, she's got the recorder, and I'm
though you're behind the wheel, so that might.
Yes, I am behind.
What
the
are we
wheel.
doing now? Maybe I should be driving. Yeah, you can go.
Okay.
See, now I've talked about that, and now you're going to start driving weird.
Anyhow.
Okay, so it was. We agree it was totally well done. The acting, I loved the setting.
Okay.
That was fun. The beach and their summer home, vacation home. Yeah, I don't know. I just liked everything. It was neat and clean, filmed really great. Crisp, bright.
Right.
Beautiful.
While things took place at night, things took place during the day also.
Yeah.
It was not shrouded in any kind of, I don't know.
Let's talk about creepy.
Lazy about
what do you think about creepy moments? Was it scary? Was it creepy?
Yes. I would say tense. There were more tense moments.
Okay.
I'm trying to unpack how I felt about it even.
Well, I think the worst part probably was when our two families are finally getting to know each other, I guess you could say.
Sure.
And when Mom starts speaking, and I thought, oh dear, because I wasn't aware they were going to speak, but she starts trying to explain a little bit about what's going on and why she's here, and I think that was probably the scariest part or the tensest part, because I didn't know the direction the movie was going to go. Whether can you reason with them? Are they just going to straight up stab you in the head? I didn't know. So
that's one of the fun things about watching horror movies with you. You're always worried about which ones you can reason with and which ones you can't.
Always.
Which killers are which entities or
who has a little bit of humanity or a little bit can you get them to care about you just a little bit? I don't know. Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, it was good.
Well,
I enjoyed it.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that. I enjoed it too.
And it's rated R.
It is rated R.
Why?
Language, mostly language.
Okay.
Violence and gore.
Yeah.
No nudity.
No, the gore wasn't that bad. I mean, blood, dead bodies and blood and stabbing and whatnot, blows to the head. But yeah, I always hate to say gore if it's just blood. I mean, I guess blood is gory, but why do I associate when I hear gore? It's like gore to me equals like entrails. I don't know. gore equals guts to me.
Okay.
So it was bloody,
so a sharp
it was violent.
hit to the head with a baseball bat isn't necessarily gory for you.
I guess not.
Is that quick and humane? I don't know.
I don't know. Well, unless it's Glenn, then...
Well, it depends on, again, that wasn't the focus of the movie either.
Right.
So
it was definitely, I mean, yes, violence, a certain amount. I mean, you cross the line when there's that much violence, then it becomes our territory.
Right.
But yeah, definitely, if if you don't want to hear the F-bomb, I wouldn't recommend the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
You started a jar like that. Or maybe
okay, let's not talk about it.
Never mind about that bit. So anyhow, yeah,
What else can we say without?
So is this a movie you would tell? So first of all, we both liked it. What's your number on it?
Oh, it's a super strong 4 for me.
I'm going to say 4.5.
Okay.
And it's a recommend, but that's what I wanted to get to was how much or how do you recommend this movie? Do you tell anybody about it? Is it a good one to go in blind? Do you think it increases or decreases your enjoyment of it to know anything about it?
I don't think it's not going to be for everyone. I could tell that just by watching it myself, but I heard already ahead of time, a lot of people just going, I don't get it, that was stupid. So anytime I hear that, then I know, okay, this is definitely not for everyone.
Okay.
So there's definitely people I know who would just probably not care for it.
A better way to look at this then is how accurate do you feel the trailer is? So based on the trailer, do you feel like watching the trailer, getting whatever you got out of it, and going to the movie, do you feel like you got what was in the trailer, or do you feel the trailer misled you?
I feel like we're just like the trailer. The trailer gave just enough without giving things away, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Okay.
There's a family. They go to the beach. Then they meet another family. They're just like them, only yikes. They're trying to hurt the good family. Like, that's all we're saying. That's all the trailer gave us.
Okay.
You can't...
So
how do you start? You can't...
Okay,
They wouldn't have been able to show anything else, or...
Right.
I mean, they could have.
That's it.
Bit.
But I mean, just by comparison, so you apply that same thing to any other movie or whatever, then the fact is, like, certain movies, you go like, oh my gosh, that was completely different from the trailer. It's still a good movie, but I didn't get what I thought I was going to get.
Yeah, this wasn't
the trailer
totally
was vague
different.
enough.
Yes. You got exactly what you saw in the trailer, and then, you got a whole lot more on top of that.
All right.
Don't watch it if you're tired, and get off your phone, and you have to pay attention.
Yes. There's like so much, because now as soon as this goes off, I've got to point out like two or three
you and I are going to talk. You and I are going to talk.
We definitely are. All right. So that was exciting. It was quite the car ride, wasn't it?
Sure. Did that seem exciting to you?
It was something. But at any rate, we're not going to do the spoilers yet. We're going to instead...
Do you have anything you want to...
add or amend or anything else? I don't.
Stuff you want to save till the end?
I'm waiting to hear what you have to say.
I'll have some conversation starters at the end.
All right.
Yeah.
Instead, I'd rather talk about, at this point, what the night knows.
Huh?
What the night knows. That's our garbage in, garbage out, right? So.
Okay, are we doing that segment right now?
We're doing garbage in, garbage out.
Okay, there was no announcement or anything.
Well, you didn't hear the music, and you didn't sing musical interlude.
Musical interlude? No.
What the Night Knows, Dean Koontz book. It's a little bit...
What is up with his hair?
I don't know.
I don't usually... I don't know.
You don't usually pick on people?
I love everybody's an individual, and everyone's got their own thing going on.
He's got something going on.
What is going on with his hair?
I don't know.
It's so luxurious.
Anyhow, What the Night Knows is a Dean Koontz novel that I was able to enjoy. It's a cross between say, Red Dragon and a Lovecraftian story, I wanted to say The Unnameable is what springs to mind, but I'm thinking about the movie there. It's a little bit like Castle Freak, if you want to throw that in there. An interesting take on a demon.
All right.
And in a somewhat non-denominational setting. I think our hero is Catholic, or he goes to see a priest to find things. Anyhow,
It's a book that you would recommend?
It's a book that I would recommend, yes.
Now, you listened to the audiobook.
I listened to the audiobook.
Do you think if you were reading it, you could have gotten through it?
Oh, man. Yes, I think so. I think it was interesting enough.
Okay.
No, that's a good, and it's a fair question. That's a fair
I'm a reader. I've always picked up until just a couple years ago, I started getting audiobooks from the library, and I'm noticing how weird it is listening to an audiobook, but you're doing something else. I mean, I'm listening and I'm paying attention, but sometimes it's like, wow, this is just really bad. Like, I had to put it down. Sometimes you pick up a book, you read the first chapter, you get into the second one, and it's like, oh man, it's just not grabbing me, or it's written badly, or you could care less about the characters, or something's going wrong, and you look at the thickness of the book and you think, do I want to give this thing, 20 hours of my life, or do I just stop now? It's different with audiobooks.
Dean Koontz's writing, this is going to sound like a complaint or whatever, maybe it will, maybe it won't.
I've already complained about his hair.
It's simple and straightforward.
Yes.
And that's the way this book was written and put out there. And there was interesting things in it, and there was enough, I think, to keep me entertained. And yes, I think I would have continued to read.
Okay.
It was good, but not great.
All right.
But if I'm going to give it a rating, I'm going to say a 7 or 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Out of 10.
Yeah.
Not out of like 100.
No, not out of 100, no.
Okay.
Because then that wouldn't be worth it.
I'm so used to 5 stars and under that when you said 7, I was like, wow, it's so above and beyond. Oh, maybe he means something else. Okay, what else?
In that case, yeah.
What did you watch anything else this week or read anything else?
Yeah. Okay, first of all, we binged The Umbrella Academy.
Right.
What did you think of that?
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah?
Yeah. Highly enjoyable.
It was.
Looking forward to another season.
Absolutely. Netflix series. Everything is out, so you're able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Let's then talk about Once Upon a Time.
Okay.
Season 7.
Probably should have ended with 6. I think everybody would agree with that.
Such a very different feel and tone to it.
Yes.
Shameless Disney plugs.
Yeah.
Shameless fan service? No, that's not what I want.
Fan service?
No, that's not what I want. What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't even know what that is.
That's okay.
That doesn't sound right.
There's so much in there to appease such a wide audience, as well as it being very targeted in other ways.
Okay.
I don't know if anything.
I know what you mean, but we won't go into all of that.
Okay, that's fine.
But the problem is basically 6 seasons of Once Upon a Time. Season 6, it had a great ending. It wraps up everything. The end.
It could have even ended with not a cliffhanger. Season 6 could have ended open-ended and been done with it. They didn't have to come back to pick up where they left off. Does that make sense? Yeah?
I have no idea. What I was going to say was, here comes season 7 down the line here, and totally different characters, totally different story. I mean, loosely related to the old story.
Right.
It's related, but new people, new story, new city, new everything. I want to say new writers. It wasn't, though. Same writers. What the heck? What were they thinking? So yeah, they took away everybody's favorite characters and put in these kind of mediocre. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well,
so
anyhow.
Of course, the fans absolutely carried the show. You don't do that to fans.
Okay.
Hit them all of a sudden with, hey, you love this thing. You love everything about it. You love our characters. You love our stories. Here, try this. We've totally destroyed it and put in crappy stuff. How do you like that?
Well, having said that, didn't Once Upon a Time have a couple of spin-offs or a spin-off in the meantime
just
that
one.
ran during those first 6 seasons?
Yeah, they did Once Upon a Time in Wonderland.
Yeah, so I'm not...
I liked that one.
I've come full circle in my thinking. I don't know whether I've matured or just gotten old or don't have the patience for
Matured.
it. From the standpoint of, I now believe that shows maybe should end after about 5 years.
Yeah. Some should.
Some should.
Some shouldn't. But you can see when something starts to kind of fizzle out.
Well,
sometimes you can see it.
There's a term for that some people use about jumping a shark. So
yeah, but sometimes it's not even that. Because, I mean, jumping the shark is definitely when something is so...
outrageous.
Where it's so wildly different and dumb or whatever. But sometimes, like, you can only do so much with... Once you play out some character's story and, like, they're all happy and stuff, how many times can you throw crap at characters to, okay, well, we need a new conflict, otherwise...
Well, some people would argue that's the problem with Walking Dead, but they'd be wrong. And some people would argue that...
well, that's why they
comic book problem,
get
like
rid
I said.
of people and bring in new people. Yeah,
Right.
I mean, it's an age-old problem. As long as storytelling has been around, it's
and
a
you
problem.
have specific heroes, you've got that issue. Anyhow.
Some stories and... how do I want to say it? I don't know. But, you know, some of them lend themselves to a never-ending story that could just keep growing and branching. And But some just kind of... If it's focused around just a small group of people, everybody kind of, I don't know. It needs to, I guess that's what they were trying to do with, I just answered my own.
You answered your own question then.
But it was a fail, because they did it too drastic.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't introduce any new characters in season 6 that carried up. We didn't get to know anybody. It was like seasons.
When you and
they carried over a couple of fan favorites. But they're different. They weren't even who they were.
When you and I discussed this, and I'm not sure who you were talking about it with, you brought up a great point, which is certain actors' contracts were up. So that's something else, too, that I have to accept or maturely accept, that people aren't there to serve me, these actors, even though
they should be.
Some of them should, at any rate. But
because you know that's why John Boy left the Waltons. He was sick of being in it. That hurts my heart to hear that. He was the oldest Walton boy. He should be on Walton's Mountain for me. What do you mean you're sick of being John Boy and you want to go do something else? Like, I don't want to hear that.
Ridiculous. Anyhow.
This segment has gotten way too long.
We're way over here.
Usually it's like 5 or 10 minutes we've been yammering on.
Let's get to...
Yes.
Your crawling chaos.
Oh, my crawling chaos will be short.
Okay, let's hear it.
Is this the musical interlude?
Yes, that's the musical.
Okay, so this week I got an interesting story in my email box.
Yeah.
From the Mother Nature Network.
You seem to love that.
I love that. That is a great website.
Okay.
I mean, it's called Mother Nature Network, but it's all kinds of stuff. It's not just, you know, animals and stuff. This is definitely a nature thing, though. Anyway, interesting story about the floating islands of Norway. Floating islands.
Okay.
It was just a neat little story.
Didn't we see that in Lost?
It's not that big of an island, but yeah, it sounds pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
But Norway's not that large, so.
Okay.
And islands in Norway sounds kind of funny, but it's basically what it sounds like, though. It's lakes and bodies of water. They're never, giant.
Right.
There might be some giant ones out there, but they only discuss some smaller ones. But yeah, there's basically big pieces of land floating around out there that just kind of float about. They've got trees growing on them. grass and plants and shrubs and things.
Okay.
There's video on there. There's a fun time-lapse video where you could watch the islands kind of floating around, bumping into each other and stuff. It's crazy.
That is nuts.
It's totally fun. And it talks about how a few people went out and swam under them and stuff to check them out. And they said they're kind of like an iceberg because you go underneath and there's...
So these aren't man-made structures or anything. These are literally...
Yeah.
Just, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so there's just dirt and rock and roots and things hanging from the bottom into the water. But, yeah, I'll have a link where people could go check it out.
All right, and those are going to be in the show notes.
Yes. Oh, and the one, do you remember a crawling chaos from probably 10 years ago that I did about the ice discs? Not the big one that we just talked about that dumb artist crawled out there and ruined it.
Tried to carve a happy face in, yes.
A peace sign or whatever.
Yeah,
ding
a peace
dong.
sign, that's right, or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, such a ding dong. But no, way back when I did there were ice discs forming like in rivers and stuff, and they were smaller. There's actually a floating island in Argentina that did that. It's a round. It must. They're studying it and trying to figure it out. There's there's gases and different things going on. It's unlike the ones in Norway.
Yeah.
But the gases and whatever's going on under the water makes this thing rotate. So it bumps into the edge, and it actually created a perfect circle. I'm using my arms and hands to
yes, you are
to illustrate. But it's basically a perfectly round lake with a perfectly round island that just bumps around the edges,
like a spirograph.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're studying that one.
All right.
Because it's like, what the heck's happening here?
Indeed.
The ones in Norway are a little more natural, like different shapes and stuff.
Yeah.
Different shapes and sizes. Anyway, floating islands.
There you go.
That's something you don't see every day.
That is something you don't see every day. So,
unless you live there.
With that in mind, I think we killed it.
We did.
All right. Anything we need to tie up here? So I'm going to tell folks, as always, they can get in contact with me, emailing me, Mad Saxon, MADSAXXON at yahoo.com. You can find us on Twitter, at Vicis Interimo. The best way to go is to find our group page on Facebook, or go to Podomatic, and you'll find all the show notes there, and you might find other fun links and stuff, because I do try to do it chronologically. So if I talked about a goofy subject in here or whatever, you might find an interesting link. The example being, the top 10 freakouts and stuff. We didn't talk about that in the podcast, but you can find a little bit more if there's more that you want to find. So
the top 10 Nicolas Cage freakouts.
That's right.
Not your freakouts.
Not my freakouts. I don't have any of those.
I'd love to see your top 10 freakouts.
Oh my gosh.
I'd love to see mine too.
We get to hear yours every now and then. Anyhow, should we get on to the spoilerific part?
Yes.
Because I don't really have any spoilers. I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Okay. Well, it's not what I have to say. It's what the writer has to say.
All right. So the rest of you folks,
yes,
tune in for the next episode. Actually, the next episode is going to be a Throwback Thursday episode, but the next new episode will be Abattoir.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next time, or we'll see you after a musical break for spoilers for us.
Spoilers ahead.
Yes.
Wah, wah. I'm trying to make a Claxton sound so you can... Emergency. Spoiler.
Oh, boy.
No, never mind. Maybe it was a duck that was getting kicked. I don't know.
I was going to ask you what that was. Yeah.
This episode contains spoilers. This episode contains spoilers. So before we lose complete control, let's get into the spoilerific segment. Talk to me.
Are we before you say the most random, seems random. Does
This
that
whole
go
podcast
with
is
the...
random.
It shouldn't be. Are we doing our spoiler
Yeah,
segment
talk
now?
to me. Tell me.
Okay, well, I looked up all kinds of stuff after we saw the movie.
Because there was a lot to unpack.
Yes.
All right.
Well, do you remember... Maybe I didn't say it in the review because I couldn't talk about it.
Right.
Okay. The government has this big experiment going on, right?
Right.
All of these millions of people living underground. We've all got a double down there, right?
Mm-hmm.
How in the world is all of this, not just the biological part of it, okay, they grew them in petri dishes or whatever, they got people's DNA, they grew humans, one for everybody. My mind could think of stuff for that, but how are they so connected to us? How, when we're doing stuff up here, they're doing the same thing down there? What's the psychic connection? What's the metaphysical, supernatural? Like, what is all of that?
Are you asking me?
Sure.
Yeah, I got nothing.
So that really...
Genetic engineering.
It didn't hang me up enough to have it bother me, but it really got me thinking.
Okay.
So I'm like, how would you explain that?
I'm going to assume, without knowing what you're going to say next, that it would have something to do with like a twin phenomenon. I would think that, things happen in twins' lives that are
yeah,
often
but
parallel. Okay.
Like, if you're up here going for a jog, your twin isn't somewhere going for a jog, too. Like,
okay.
Oh, they're in control of my body. Dang it, I don't feel like jogging, but I have to because they are.
Okay.
Like, there was some really funky stuff going on.
Okay, I got you. What did you find out about that?
Well, the writer, Jordan Peele, he actually said that he has an elaborate mythology and explanations for everything.
I can't believe that. I mean, I want to believe that. I want to believe that.
Well, after you and I talked about it so much, do you remember me saying, well, the way I could see this happening is if they made a deal with some, they opened a portal or they're dabbling in some evil, I don't know.
Right.
There's got to be some big supernatural force behind this, and it wouldn't be something good.
Yeah.
I mean, these are the kind of things because I'm Lovecraft and I'm
gotcha.
Cabin in the Woods and The Mist,
right.
the Hellboy.
That's funny.
The government and
now we're back to talking about the shop.
Yeah, the shop.
Yeah, but okay.
So that was the explanations in my mind, but I'm absolutely thrilled to hear that he actually thought it all out and he has an answer to that.
Okay.
We may never find out what it is.
Well, that's no good. What the heck?
Well,
I was such a build-up. I was so excited.
You thought I was going to tell you?
I thought you were going to tell me.
No.
Oh.
Because he also said, oh, darn it, see, I had his quote written down. Basically what he said, though, was he didn't want to give everything away because basically that's no fun, and he wants to get people's curiosity piqued.
Okay.
Like, what's the fun of... Look at us sitting here fretting over it and talking about it like crazy. Success.
Fair enough. All right.
Yeah, he was successful at that. But, so that, let's see. I want to stay organized here because I have a lot of stuff written here.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, we'll do it fast, though.
All right.
We don't want to keep people here
I'll
all day.
stop interrupting you.
No, you can. That's what we're here for.
All right.
Discuss. Now I am going to... That kind of goes together with... this was in an interview. They asked him if Us is part of a Get Out trilogy. There were things that led up to that question, but we're not going to go into all of that. And his exact words were, anything is possible.
Okay.
That doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
But there's been talk of him putting out 3 movies. I don't know how they would all tie in. I don't know. Aside from, there was obviously supernatural goings on in the first, in Get Out.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if this got left in our review in the car or if it got edited out, but
it got edited.
We talked about this being related to Get Out, or how it was maybe related, or what this movie was trying to do as social commentary, and we figured it was very much like it looked at people who are privileged and not privileged,
right.
or we had that was kind of, I think, the takeaway that we got from it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Am I making stuff up?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, Jordan Peele, the writer, he noted that this film is not about race in America, but is about the divide between the privileged and those denied access to the things they need. So that was the message he was trying to get across in this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And the actor who plays Gabe, and Gabe was the dad.
Right.
He played the dad, and he played Abraham.
Okay.
Who was the dad's double.
Right.
Doppelganger. Poor thing. The actor who played that part, he says that he never judged Abe. He's calling Abraham Abe.
Uh-huh.
He never thought of him as a villain. Because of course Abe was trying to kill him.
Right.
But he said he didn't hold it against him. He didn't see him as a villain. And he says, quote, Gabe gets to have health care, which manifests in his glasses. He gets to see. He gets to talk, to express himself. Abe doesn't. He's squinting and he's very tactile. So he did not hold any of that against his doppelganger that was trying to kill him. So that was interesting.
That's an interesting take on it, because I'm not sure that I...
Well, it got me thinking, okay, so I meet this person that is myself, who lived underground and had nothing but crap their whole life, and now they want me dead. Well, you can't blame them, I guess.
Huh.
I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, so there's that. And then one of the last things that I thought was interesting, and these obviously these are this isn't a spoiler. This was something I could have said earlier, but Jordan Peele says that he's drawn a lot of his inspiration from M. Night Shyamalan's work.
Okay.
Which I think is awesome, because we talked a lot about Shyamalan.
Well, we had a short topic about him, yeah?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And what was he specifically inspired by?
What?
Unbreakable.
Interesting.
And he loves that there was Unbreakable, and that there was Split, and that there was a movie that brought them together. So that makes me think a little more on him saying that anything is possible.
Okay.
So maybe
there might be a third outside the realm of the first two, but yet draws them all in. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's...
if
it's even going to be a thing or exist.
Okay. Because it might happen. Doesn't mean it will happen.
Do you have anything to...
I got nothing. That's fascinating to hear, but I got nothing to add to that.
Okay.
I'm going to sit here and think about what happened if my doppelganger came for me.
Yeah. They were going to come up here and kill your privileged ass?
So I just started to say... because now it does have me thinking, because with my temperament, like, how much of that... Oh, see, there's just... We could spend hours on this, but we won't put everybody else through it.
Because I almost brought up the ending, too.
But you and I will turn and talk about this, because this becomes nurture or nature now, because now what... because I do a lot of self-analysis, or at least I think that I do. I like to think about thinking. We've talked about that before.
And what was supposed to be happening, though, because if you look at it only in the terms of, like, this movie, you don't get all of this from the movie. I didn't get all of this. I read about what the
we only
writer...
saw it once, too.
Yeah,
and we talked about that. We talked about that while we... on the way home.
In interviews and stuff with the writer, and him talking about the story and what he had in mind and all of this stuff, you learn that Red, who is the main character, there's the mom,
right?
Her doppelganger is Red.
Yeah.
You learn the big twist.
Yeah.
I guess people realize this is spoilers.
Yes.
But Red is actually not the doppelganger from below, but the little girl that was lost, who was up here.
Yeah.
She should have never been down there.
Right.
So that's her. That's why she was able to speak, and she had her wits about her. Everyone else just seemed like these automatons, just like they didn't know what to do. They hadn't learned anything, and they just were these people just blindly bumping into everything. But she was supposed to have taught them and, you know, told them what to do, and it was her idea to go up there and we're going to go get these people. And I mean, there was so much going on.
Well, and like I said, we only watched it once.
Yeah.
And so, it was definitely one that we needed to...
And it kind of goes back... I remember thinking... Maybe I even said it in the car. But, yeah, what is that?
I don't know. We're getting smoked out by our neighbors.
Oh, gosh. Freaking communal living. Well, there's only 5 people next door with barbecues and chimneys. And, like, we're in Southern California and it's not even cold. And everybody has to have fires all the time. And we get all their smoke. It's lovely. We're going to have to close the windows. But anyway, shoot, what was my point? And then we'll stop. Oh, when I said, you know, you almost felt like, or I wondered if you could almost reason with them.
Yes.
Like, hold on. Like, just let me talk to you for a second. Were they somebody you could reason with?
Right.
But that makes me think that you maybe could have. I mean, she got them all excited to get up there. We're going to do this. She was their leader.
Right.
But how much does the personality, like you said, would your doppelganger have your personality?
Right.
I'm assuming it would.
Because if they were a clone of you or a copy or whatever they are.
They would have no teaching or anything. So they would have your...
Well, that's...
I mean, they didn't grow up up here
they
where
didn't grow up privileged or whatever.
They would not know what the heck was going on.
Right.
They would be told that, hey, there's someone up there that's got all your stuff. That should have been you. Go take them out and, you know, you'll have a better life or whatever. We don't know what she told them.
Yeah.
But yeah, would you be... You're such a mellow guy, usually, unless you're pushed too far. but like, your doppelganger would have your temperament.
Yeah.
So... I don't know.
That's a fascinating thing.
Could you tame them? Could you, like, hey, we're brothers?
We're not brothers. We're clones.
Are you guys... Oh.
Are you guys...
I can't even...
More... What do you call it? More Adventure Time references.
Yes.
Anyhow.
No, they're clones.
What are clones?
A group of organisms or cells produced asexually from one ancestor or stock to which they are genetically identical.
How did that happen?
It's a long story.
I love long stories.
Yeah, there's no time.
And they're not brothers.
No, they're not brothers. They're clones. Hey, get down here and help me. Magenta quintuplets, I'm telling you.
We're not Vigita quintuplets.
Vigita quintuplets. That's what I was trying to think of. Are you guys Vigita quintuplets? You're clones.
Anyhow.
But yeah, anyway, so many things to think about.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
I'm actually anxious to see it again now.
And so all of this stuff we've been talking about, like, it's so out there and up there, and you can... I don't know.
All right.
The people who thought it was stupid and didn't get it, I could see that too. If they just sat down and watched it and went, what? Dumb.
Unless you're willing to put in the, unless you want to put in the work for it, you're going to lose out.
A lot of people wanted to go see a horror movie.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm here for the horror movie. And like, what did you just show me? That was all the angry people that you saw coming out of the movie theater.
That's true.
So yeah, a lot of people thought it was stupid. I thought it was great.
Indeed.
And talking more about it and reading more about it and learning more about Jordan Peele and what he was trying to do and all of his cool ideas. And he's a Shyamalan fan. I'm sold.
Cool. Well, if anybody's still listening, we'll say thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Sorry about that loud noise there. And this time we really killed it. And I promised no stingers, so I need to shut this directly off. Or maybe we'll just hit the stop button.